You got there we go. All right, let's call the meeting to order. And we're gonna start. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we need any agenda items? I don't believe so. Me too. Okay. So the first item, next item on the agenda is acceptance minutes. Make a motion to accept the minutes of February 22nd, 2023. Second. Yes. Okay. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Aye, okay. They're accepted. Communications, one of my favorite part of the ding dong school here. I do have some. Just get past only a couple. But I did want to do this because it involves what we do. This is from the JI on the 25th. Holland canceled virtual public hearing after inappropriate content. The article goes through, somebody broke in and was using foul language, whatever, and they tried restarting, redoing the whole thing. It didn't work. So they decided they wouldn't have any more virtual public hearings. And then Holland decided on the 28th to continue their hybrid meetings. I know, but I look at this as this is a municipal situation and the issue can happen. It has happened at selectmen's meetings, and it's difficult to shut people off. They keep coming back, and that's what happened there. Now they're gonna go back and they're just gonna try again. They just thought it was more important to keep trying than to give up.
What's the law say on something like that?
That's a good question.
Yeah, but the freedom Zoom call, are the administrator, you can block the person.
Yeah, but they can get back in again. This is one of the hazards.
Well,
Oh,
I'm
no,
just asking,
another way. This is the game they
I'm more asking though about the
Not a
meeting
local-
itself.
Okay,
The meeting itself, they decided they weren't going to have it anymore, then they changed their meetings. What was the reason for that? Other
they
than,
thought it was more important to allow the public that access.
but there's no state law, no state rule that is requiring it at this
Hybrid meetings are allowed.
point. Okay, that answers the question.
Okay, so that, you pass that down, please. This one is from the 25th also. Boston wastewater data keeps dropping, so Boston has been monitoring COVID in their sewer system. That's gonna be a challenge. And it's down by 20%. Which over the past 2 weeks, it went down by 42%, but. Okay, so that's just an interesting piece. This one, I think has more value. I got this off of Facebook, I believe. So this is a picture of a wastewater employee. Okay. Who works for a private company. Casella Water Systems. And they're doing work in Willimantic, for Willimantic. And he was doing his regular route and he noticed an elderly man severely injured in the middle of the road. So he stopped and rushed to the man's aid, called for additional medical assistance. And he said, I'm glad I was there in the right place at the right time to help. And thank you to Sean and all our Casella drivers who keep a watchful eye while serving our community. Well, it's sewer related,
Yeah.
so I thought that ought to be part of our year. Just little tidbit, but they do count, and they only take a couple minutes. Any other communications? Hearing none. No scheduled visitors. Public participation. And I see no one on Zoom at this point. So we won't have that at the moment. Receipt of applications,
We have no new applications.
anything left to approve?
No, there aren't.
Okay. I'll bring us down to legal and. Do we have anything specific in legal?
I have some accounts, they had been with the marshal, they were returned, I've sent them 2 letters, no responses. Should we send them? Over to Mike's office for collection?
Yes. Opinion?
Is that our normal procedure? At this point, we should have a certain amount of time which we need to process,
We do have a policy in place.
right?
And I think what Laura's getting at, we've got to the point that it's gone to the marshal twice now.
Okay.
And come back. So at that
Yeah.
point in time,
And then I sent out a letter in November saying that they were returned to our office as uncollectible. And the marshal fee was removed from their account and pay us, go on, no response. Beginning of February, I sent them a demand notice.
Okay,
No
so we
response.
follow, what I'm trying to do is making sure when
we
do
did follow
this,
our procedures.
the normal steps that we follow. And I don't, unless there's, I don't know how I'm getting to this, maybe it's me. But with ones like this, we're at a point where our collections are way up, as I understand. Then what we should be doing is just doing a process, unless you see a red flag on one of these. I think the steps should then be to keep them from ever being personal, should be the next step as you do this. In other words, 6 weeks go by, whatever number you pick, because you've been doing it. I'm just saying, unless there's a red flag, like we had the young gentleman that wanted to come in and talk. That's interaction. But if we're getting no interaction, then there's no reason for us as personalities. Because if one of these people knows me and I've had a fight with them, then they at that point could say, well, you're just coming after me. So if we have a process, and I'm trying to make your job easier too, because you can say, this is day 6, boom, it happens.
And what we have done in the past, Jim, we have discussed these issues, we have left the names and addresses off so that we're not dealing.
Right.
Again, just to kind of keep it.
Right, and I get
Right.
that, but there's no reason for us to be involved. To me, it's almost micromanaging that aspect.
You're correct.
Unless there's a red flag or our collections are way behind and we need to figure that out. But all that has been straightened out. And now we're at the point where we can say, okay, month 2, this happens, month 6, this happens. Give or take a couple days. I'm not like trying to be,
Yeah,
but there's no reason for this commission to care about it unless red flag, legal action back against us. You know,
and these
if we
people have
follow the
contacted
steps.
all of it.
Or if it's in the policy.
Just one of the accounts.
We have a written policy.
Closure
Yes, we
has
have
been
written
started on, so it was filed at the beginning of March, so this one, I think we should just sit on.
That's one of the lower amounts as well.
It is. But if it's in foreclosure, I think we'll eventually get some.
Proper procedure.
What's on it?
Okay, I'm done. I
No,
just,
that's fine.
I don't wanna make that all work either.
I know, I'd love to make it routine up to whatever point.
If you have any questions.
Would you like me to send you a copy of the delinquent policy, Jim?
Yeah.
Then that way,
just,
yeah, you could peruse it.
Put burden on them.
Perfect.
they know how to shut me up. Bird,
Any other legal issues we know of? Having none, I guess we'll go through the motion with.
I'll make a motion to suspend the regular meeting for a public hearing.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Make a motion to open the public hearing for Newberry Village LLC, number 739 Morning Dove Trail.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, public hearing is now open. I'll read the notice. Public notice, Town of East Windsor Water Pollution Control Authority, the Water Pollution Control Authority of the Town of East Windsor will hold a regular meeting starting at 6:30 PM on Wednesday, March 29, 2023, at the EWWPCA Administration Building, 192 South Water Street, East Windsor, Connecticut. The on-site meeting is restricted to commissioners and staff. The public may participate by the remote video conferencing platform Zoom. Details to join the Zoom meeting are available on the WPCA agenda, which is posted on the town website. Newberry Village LLC, 7 Morning Dove Trail, 1 EDU, $6,500. Newberry Village LLC, 39 Morning Dove Trail, 1 EDU, $6,500. During this meeting, the following public hearing on the calculation and imposition of facility connection charges on the following properties will be heard. Copies of said proposed calculations are on file, open to public inspection at the office of the Water Pollution Control Authority, 192 South Water Street, East Windsor, Connecticut, dated the 17th day of March 2023. Paul Anderson, Town of East Windsor Water Pollution Control Authority, published in the Journal Enquirer, March 17th, 2023. These are both new single family, correct? Or
That's correct, Paul. Single family homes in Newberry Village. And they have both paid 1/2 of the assessment.
and they did have. Yeah. Okay, well, I can see that there's no one on Zoom, so no one's here to represent Newberry Village LLC. You have any questions? Questions? So in that case, we can entertain a motion to make
Make a motion to close the public hearing for Newberry Village LLC, number 739 Morning Dove Trail.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion to resume the regular meeting.
Second.
Did I hear a second? Oh, I didn't. I might have.
Rapid fire.
I don't know, I think the water cooler was thinking. I'm always been attracted to those. All in favor?
Aye.
Next motion.
Make a motion on FCC to impose facility connection charges in the amounts published.
Second.
Discussion? None? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, action is complete. Unfinished business. IT status.
I'm going to turn it over to my IT department. Mr. Ed.
Okay, thanks, sir. 2 weeks ago, we updated Route 5, Newberry Road and Industrial Park, some of the applications available remote. They came in handy.
Yeah.
So years ago, you guys have time for like a 2-minute story?
Do it.
Okay, so years ago, we had some heavy rain and a pump started running and it had a little debris in it. That pump was running and running and running. It never got to the high level and it never shut off and it ran for several hours.
Okay.
So at that point, when things happen, it's our intuition to say, we need to do something. We can't let our pump run for, 5 hours straight.
Sure.
So we have some excessive runtime controls in there. So if it goes beyond 10 minutes, we get an alert. The operator on call will be notified, hey, this pump's been running for 10 minutes. And if it's a dry night, we can usually say there's something plugged in the pump. It's keeping it within range, but not getting empty, not able to shut off. So one of the things we did is we now have almost all of our stations back where we can control certain things from this room as well. We're having a little bit of a trouble with either a pump, a VFD, the motor, or the amps getting to it at Route 140. So what's happening is at times it's not pumping as well as it should. and it's going beyond that 10-minute level of excessive runtime. So we made that programmable. So we went to 15 minutes. That seemed fair. But now we can also give it a little more time because it seemed to be taking 12 minutes. Not all the time, at certain times. What we did additionally now, and it may not make all that much sense to you, but it was a big deal for us. We also can change the on and off levels. So one of the things we can do to shorten that runtime as well is just not let the tank fill up as much.
Yeah.
So all these things for 8 out of the 10 stations now can be done here.
Wow.
So where that becomes important is during inclement weather, bad snowstorm, we can see what's happening from the confines of this building. It's safe. We don't have to drive out to the Route 140 or North Road. We can make some changes right here, which is, it's a big safety plus.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's something we worked on 2 weeks ago. We started the prep for running some better controls for our raw sewage mixers, and that's to help combat the rags that we're getting a lot through the line. We've got 1,000 feet of shielded cable we need to run through conduit to get through. One of our fellows is working on that now, so that we can have some on, off, and timing functions. The biggest issue we've had for this season is Laura's billing software. The company we've been using, Alan Novak and Dodd, after 20 some odd years, they're retired. So we're sort of being moved into finding someone else. We think we found someone else, and there's some adjustments on our end we're going to need to do.
I would imagine it's true. But billing's important.
Yeah, just slightly.
Never to complain about not getting paid, can't bill people. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ed.
You're welcome.
FCC rate review.
Yes, I've been, we talked about that last month, and so I've been compiling information. And one of the best ways to get a lot of that information, Pine Bond usually publishes a sewer and water
Yeah.
rate survey.
Yeah.
It's about 3 years old. We don't have anything updated yet. So I am compiling a list. I know this is the list of the towns that Denise had given me back in, I think it was 2015.
Yeah.
And so I'm working down that list, and I sent another email blast out to the folks today. What I'm seeing from, I get about 60% responses so far. The sewer use fees have definitely gone up across the board.
Oh, I imagine.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Some of the sewer facility connection charges have gone up. Some substantially, and some actually have gone down. The one going down is just an anomaly. I understand why they did that.
Okay.
But yeah, so by the next month, I will have the chart populated. I will have low, the high, the median. And again, I have the information.
The one that went down, did that rate go up though? The user
Yes.
rate?
The reason it went down, Jim, and it's a place that I used to be employed at, so I know a little bit about it.
Yeah.
And it was done for all the wrong reasons.
I was gonna say, I know exactly why they did it.
Well, yeah.
They had the cost increased in the user rates. They lowered the cost, the hookup, because that way they're trying to attract stuff.
That's
But
because the
the
developers,
fallacy is the after effect more than the initial.
The after effect is what you can allow to do with the money.
exactly.
FCC money has legal purposes.
Right.
Ratepayer money has different purposes.
Right, oh,
So you can
exactly.
shoot yourself in the foot.
Well, and it's fake.
Well,
That's how I look at stuff
well,
like
that's
that.
not our problem.
No, I just.
No,
No, our rate doesn't necessarily correlate directly to these other towns. Because our world is what it is. And we have to protect the world we're living in here. To come up with, but it's good information to get
Oh.
sense.
Oh, absolutely. My thought on it is that the rate is a separate item than the hookup.
you are correct.
No,
That's
when I
what
said rate, I meant the FCC rate.
Oh,
The
yeah,
FCC rate is based on the needs we foresee
right,
and the cost of those needs.
Mhm.
Getting information from other towns has value, but it's limited. It's a percentage of the picture. The biggest percentage is the realities that are here,
right, what is your reality, absolutely,
because that's the biggest driving force.
Laura mentioned today, we were at a little meeting, she mentioned fielding calls from other towns. What's your sewer rate, what's your
Yeah.
next charge, because a number of these area towns that have undergone upgrades. Well, it's usually 18 months after the closing date of the project. It's just a long time, it's like a year and a half later. And then it's time to start paying the loan.
And they gotta find the money,
Exactly, and that's exactly what's happening.
and there you go.
And what I have seen in my what I've got for 60% so far, is that sewer use fees have definitely gone up more than what you would consider inflationary.
Yes.
It's these people are realizing that you can't keep a low rate forever, because it's just fallacy, it's a dream, because eventually you gotta pay the piper, and now they're getting one of these.
so different for taxes, believe me, it's all
It's all the
a
same.
numbers thing.
Yep.
Oh, we had the good sense to expand our plan 30 years ago.
That's right.
We had a lot less money,
Well, at the time, but, you know, it was.
well, I'll tell you. I said, look at that, and I just go, boy, did we get lucky.
Exactly, no, that's
Yeah,
exactly what it was.
that's absolutely true. It was fortunate circumstance.
So for next month's meeting, I will have the table all populated with the
Cool.
averages and means and so on. So from
Yeah, all right. That sounds good. Thank you for that. End date on contracts. And that was sort of a generic thing. Making sure that whatever we put out has a statement specifically saying that this is good for this amount of time. The amount of time might vary based on what's going on, but it's definitely gonna have an end.
So Mike, I don't know, cause we were doing it via email, or I was talking with you or your dad about Calamar.
Yeah, we both took a look at that.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah, he did as well. I looked at it as
Okay,
well.
perfect.
You know, and our opinions were the same, that it's fairly express on the application as to when that window closes. we do not believe the town is not beholden to that rate.
Okay.
What you choose to do with them moving forward is up for discussion, but
Yeah.
from my father's opinion and mine as well, was that it's very clear that that time has lapsed, and I don't think there's an
Okay.
obligation in our opinion.
Okay, so that means it's open to renegotiation period, and that's the end of the
And I
story.
talked to the fire marshal last week at a staff meeting, and he mentioned that, he made them repay or. Yeah, they had to pay whatever they paid the fire marshal, it was $36,000, and he received a check for $30,000. So he said that was a sign that he thought Calamar was still continuing to look to open up at some point in time, because why would they have paid 30 out of the 36?
Mhm.
He would have paid maybe 5 out of the 36, so.
Yeah.
Again, so that was just the fire marshal's inspection fees, or however they worked it out. That was $36,000,
But they paid 30.
up to 36, and they did say the other 6 would be forthcoming.
Okay, then what we should be doing is having a letter prepared, letting them know the time has lapsed. In other words, cut it off, it's past before they walk in your door and say to you, well, we're here now, we're ready to go. And we have to go, whoa, 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 whoa. I think we need
Well, I
to,
think that's why I was
Okay.
instructed to reach out to Mike and his dad.
Yeah. They're gonna have to file a new application.
Okay,
well, we need to let them know that.
if you'd like, I will do that if you'd like me to do that.
I think that would be the-
Give them the heads up as soon as possible, because the corporate level, they need to understand how they're gonna proceed to get to the end they're trying to get to.
So when I put this letter together, do you want me to tell them that our original agreement with them for the 50 or 51 EDUs, that is no longer valid because they have to file a new application, we have a new board.
I don't think the board has anything to do with it.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
that's a change in
We looked
people.
at the actual application, didn't we, last time? It
Yes,
was-
we
Yeah,
did.
it's 1 year.
It said 1 year.
1 year.
So I think
It
it's,
could be extended, but they didn't extend it, and the point
Okay.
being is it's a long time ago, so once the application. Is no longer valid, every other thing that had anything to do with
Okay.
sewer is gone.
So I'm just going to inform them that their application is lapsed.
Yeah,
And they need to file the new.
and the same thing with the FCC agreement, it's void, and. Any kind of thing we do like that, again, we'll have to have an end date,
Alright.
if you don't do it before such and such.
Who negotiated the 51 or whatever last
That was a
time?
long time ago.
Oh, that was, oh my God.
Was it the board?
It
or-
was-
Board
it was-
agreed.
Okay,
Board agreed
that's,
on the
that's
method.
where I'm getting at, because what's gonna happen is he's gonna let them know. They're gonna come back with, can we have this again? And we need to have a way out for Art to get time for us to respond.
The burden's not on him.
Well, no, you get what
No,
I'm
It
saying.
will be on him.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying
Because
to.
any agreement outside of what the rules are has to be negotiated.
Okay,
And we'll just leave it at that without getting
So
complicated.
what I will do, I will work and close on a letter, I'll run it by you, Mike, just to make sure that it doesn't look too harsh or too.
right, we're just
Yeah.
following up at this point.
Exactly, okay, yeah. I will
Reasonable
do
and
that.
legal, that's the best
Yeah.
way.
You got it. Okay. Certainly, I will do that, okay.
You know, in your spare time.
He was alluding, we'd have to call it a chameleon.
Much, everything's gonna have to have some kind of end date on it, it's valid until, that doesn't mean it couldn't be extended, but that becomes.
They
The
need
decision's
to-
here, not there.
Well, and if it becomes part of our regular process. We may actually one day say, you know what, we're gonna give you 2 years to get this accomplished because of what's involved.
Could be,
But that way it becomes part of the conversation
Right.
whenever we get this.
and it would be in writing, and that makes it easier for everybody.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so, new business would be bill sheet review. This was on the table tonight. You'll see that the leave provision due is 293%.
That's because we had a retirement.
That'll do it every time, that's where that fits.
Yes, that's.
Oh, that's a great place
We have
for
been
it.
here for 26 years and you have little to no sick time and the union
Okay.
contract allowed him. to
We had to
cash
buy
that
him out.
50%. Exactly.
Yeah. And then, but that's 75% of the year and 69% of the money. So we're solvent
Mhm.
at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's the only outstanding item that I can see,
Yes, it is.
but that's a beauty. So, yeah, retirement. Okay. Who'd have thought, right? Well, that's the end. We're gonna cancel all retirements and that problem will go away, won't it?
Yeah.
Maybe we should do that. I'm watching what's going on in France. I
I-
think that's a good
Well,
idea.
Yeah.
I know that. Well, then instead of 62 to 64, we'll make it 80. Okay, never mind, we can't do that.
You're gonna be here for a while.
It's not within our area, we can't do
We keep rolling up.
it. Okay, superintendent's report.
It again was as always a very busy month. We had a lot going on. We did a lot with the IT. Scott Robbins and Randy were at the AIS to do some other work out at the pump stations. We have these little HMI screens, Maple used to call them HMIs. And when we first put them in, we were trying to be economical, and again, we didn't have a lot of money, so we put in the little ones. Well, now we're slowly putting in like 7-inch screens, because we can do a lot more than what we used to be able to do. So we can, as I mentioned, we can control it back here, we control it at the pump station, so we've been doing a couple of pump stations at a time. The screens are not that expensive, but when we get EIS and Scott, we try to bundle the tasks so that when it's here, we get the more bang for the buck. And I think that's gone really, really well, because we have staff here who we entrust with going out there and changing settings, changing control.
Right.
So, As Ed mentioned, we've got to run a lot of cable, we've got some, cable we're gonna run for what we're gonna do with the mixtures in the raw wet wells. Maintenance wise, the guys have been extremely busy. We've kind of taken advantage of the easy winter, so to speak, to, get a lot of maintenance done, a lot of pumps rebuilt. We've just, did pumps at, guess you hear it, well, Mill Pond, we put a rebuilt pump in Mill Pond. And we're just having another pump rebuilt for Route 5, so what we're doing is we're getting to the point that every station has a spare pump.
Yep.
Every station has got new pumps in there, so now we have spare pumps sitting behind in case there is.
Sure.
Okay. So, we get the vac on out, we started with the Vector, that's gone extremely well, we only get out a couple of days a week, but this year here, John Ference, came up with he wanted to start at Route 5, because Route 5, we have sewers on both sides of the road.
Yeah.
Pull everything over to the west side of the road, and then they can make a straight run into the plant. Route 5 is extremely busy, and we have manholes, most of them are off the pavement.
Okay.
So, it's worked out really good. I mean, as he calls it, the team, we had a meeting today and he talked about the team, because we have 3 guys who focus on that, and, John's kind of been given the charge of that. And he's done really good. I mean, we try to empower our people, and sometimes you need to give them a little bit more to see what they come up with. And what do you think of that? I was really.
Yeah, he took charge today. He
Did your job.
has been very professional, and he's dedicated himself to knowing what he's gonna do before getting in here. That, you know, many people come in the day of and try to decide what to do. We've got them, and John's bought right into it. He's prepared like a week out,
Yes.
so there's no surprises.
So when we have our manpower meetings, we know what area he's planning to go on, so we can put it on the schedule. We're just trying to make it a bit more scientific rather than just go out there. So I think this worked out really, really well. And
Art, do you want me to grab the map?
you can also, yeah, that would be good. So what Ed does is he prints the map out, because he has the GIS abilities, and we'll pick a quadrant that we want to kind of work on. We get like a 4 to 5 year plan to cover the whole town. And so as the guys do those areas every week to get the report back, Ed will update the map with colored lines as to what we have done at the prior years. So it gives you a real hanging on the back of the horse. So it gives the guys a real visual reference as to year to year. Yeah, I mean, it's extremely valuable because there's a lot of miles of sewers out there. Route 5 is that green line down here in the gym. So by doing this here, the guys go out, they walk the collection system, they get to intimately know where the manholes are, how they cross the street. Having that knowledge, that institutional knowledge, is so valuable. Because if you go out there in the wintertime, the snow is covering everything, you have no idea where anything is. So,
Oh, yeah, it's going to be rock.
already in most of them on Route 5 are,
You know,
in their grass area. Yeah.
We have requirements, right, Art, of how much, how often we need to have these lines cleaned.
Yeah, that's an EPA mandate. It's called CMOM capacity.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, there's an
Oh,
EPA
good.
mandate, yeah. And so we have to give them our plan as to what we're doing, how often we're doing it, why we're doing it. I mean, yeah, we had like a 2-day inspection a couple of years back where they came in.
I remember that.
Oh, yeah, that's what this is all about. That's why we do the map, we do the booklets. That's John's corner over there. He meets with his team, his 2 guys. They talk about where they're planning to go so that they buy into it, they understand. John really is the head of it. He runs everything by Ed and myself to let us know. So we're kind of giving him the opportunity to
Right,
grow this, right? Exactly.
you got it, that's perfect, man.
Yeah, no, so it's working out really good. I'm really pleased with how the start we got this year. They're really extremely happy with how much they've got accomplished in a short period of time, because they have a plan before they even go out there.
Right.
We're really big on planning here. And well, you can't do enough planning, in my opinion, and Ed feels the same way, so.
You
I'm
gotta
really
surely work for like a government agency, because it certainly Oh, wait, that was a personal interjection, I'm sorry.
We are public workers with a private attitude.
Good. I like that.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, other than that, things have been really going good. Ed mentioned about building software. They had a conference call again today, so. We assume there's gonna be some bumps in the road with that. As it is with anything that you do, but there's really only one vendor out there who supplies this. They do it for 96% of the towns in Connecticut.
Wow,
Yeah. Quality.
but
data
that's,
system.
it's good and bad,
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. No, it is,
as
so.
long as they stay healthy.
Well, and the more towns they do, it sounds bad, but that means there'll be less cost. Because even though they've got a monopoly, they've got to retain it. And
Yeah,
if they go too high, people will start jumping ship.
Right.
So it's probably a good thing.
the fellow we had for 20 some odd years, Alan.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, they were.
Oh, yeah.
They were a small operation and they were, well, you don't realize what you have until they retire. You're gonna have to go find somebody else, and they were very economical. They were very well, they worked very well with us.
Yeah.
So that's all I have, everything else is going good, that's super.
I got one thing, Art,
Oh, I'm
for
sorry.
you. I want you to build on this if you don't mind. Last month, Paul brought up the odor, that odor.
Oh, yeah,
Town.
Right,
We just got ours going Monday. So I don't know if anybody noticed, we're dropping tanks this week. We're trying to lessen our solids
get out of winter mode.
and get out of winter mode. So I don't know if Art, you wanna talk a little bit
Did it
about
cost
the
us
odor?
$1 million?
Well, Art's gonna let you know when it comes.
Oh, okay.
No, I think we did it for less than $20,000, but, yeah, in what Ed's talking about, I know we start to drop tanks and as with anything, it's not a very good smelling operation when you start to do that, so
Oh, really?
turning on the odor control and being able to monitor it through SCADA. We
Wow.
can ramp it up, but we can, and the guys can do it themselves as well. And so, because again, we're seeing a nice day today, there's people out in the park.
Absolutely.
And we've got the electrical guys over here. I don't know if you've seen what they're doing over
Oh,
here.
yeah, they're going
That's
crazy. They're shooting for the moon.
Oh, my God, yeah, they're moving the live wires
You
over.
understand, it's gotta get higher because of the highway, I think.
Oh, okay, I didn't know what that was all
It's
about.
right next to the highway.
Yeah, they replaced the towers up there, they replaced the towers on the other side of the river.
Yeah.
And now they're doing these, so it's quite an operation. It's like, wow.
That's the transmission cost. The big part of the world. Well, but you know what? Reliability, they gotta do that.
I just laugh because it's like they're building the bigger mousetrap for it, so.
Yeah.
Makes me laugh.
So our order control is working very well, it's very economical, it's very user friendly. And again, you can build a bigger and badder, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna get a better control.
No, I understand that. The fact that we're doing it is.
What's our capacity at?
Right now,
Yeah.
I would say we're seeing high flows right now from the winter and melt and whatnot. I don't believe we're even at 50%. When I looked at it earlier today, it was like 700,000 gallons and it was peaked this morning. And our design is 2.5, so 35%.
Yeah.
And that's with the springtime, that's why I was asking.
Oh, yeah. No, if you know people who wanna come to town, tell them that we're open for business.
Yeah.
I just love it when you plan ahead and things work out like they have. You know, I don't want to go so low with break things.
No, we didn't get that much snow, so there's snow melt that's not happening. There's some factors.
There are some factors.
Right.
But there's quite a bit of infiltration.
Well, but if we're sitting at 50%, that's 50%. And I'm saying 50%, you're saying 35, I'm saying 50, because if we had all that.
Oh,
if
yeah.
We have all that growth that we can still do.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm interested in.
No transfers?
No, I was gonna hold off till next month. I don't, we do need to make some transfers, it's no rush.
Is Steve Bednar's here?
No,
he's
he's
not,
not.
It's
he's
okay.
not going to be able to make it.
Yeah, it's fine with me. I just wanted to know,
Yeah.
make sure.
No, he was offered the opportunity to come.
Okay, no, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. All right, and this item will be executive session, which means some people can go home. Not many.
I make a motion to go into executive session starting at 7:10 p.m.
Second.
Including
Oh, no, you gotta do the, to include.
Oh, God, I'm gonna put. And
Alamozic.
Alabosic. Art and really, board. No motions will be made following.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're now technically in executive session, that can stop